What's good, y'all? Hey, what's good? What's good? Damn, Derpy. Damn, dog. Damn, I can't do my pod. That's crazy, Derpy. That's crazy. And then you and then you try to shame Elijah also. Oh man, what's good, y'all? How's everybody doing, man? How's everybody doing? Elijah said, if Tatum can come back, do you play him in the playoffs? I would say no. I mean, I think everyone else would say otherwise. I think Tatum would say otherwise. I would say no. Personally, I would say no. Only because think about how you can't, like, bringing someone back at the most intense time of the year, right? Not only does this person have to get into shape to play, but you add the fact that it's the most intense time. That's when everyone's the most locked in. Like, yeah, that's tough. And then I think you would also fuck up everything that Boston's got going on. You'd fuck up everything Boston's got going on. And the Jaylen Brown thing, I think going through a training camp to figure all that out would be really helpful. Yeah, I don't know if I would do that. You don't stop what they got going on right now. I wouldn't, but I think he wants to play. I'm sure he wants to play. But that's a tough call. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'm wrong. You got till 7, but I'm sure you're going out after the pod. Yes, no is the correct answer. This motherfucker's clocking me. This motherfucker's clocking me. What the fuck? Damn, that's crazy. Oh man, that's crazy. But yeah, let's get the show on the road. Today we're gonna be talking about Kobe and his 81-point performance. We're gonna be talking about the massive beatdown that the New York Knicks gave the Brooklyn Nets, and I have some thoughts about that as well too. So that we'll get into. Is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander back? He had a big performance last night, and honestly, he's been having some really big performances as of late. It's just been a little bit quiet. The Jaylen Brown prop was in for the last couple weeks. Kawhi Leonard was also going off. Everything that's been going on with the Warriors, and there's been a lot of storylines going on, to the point where Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the MVP of last season, has kind of had a quiet little 5-6 game stretch as of late. So we'll talk all about that as well too. So welcome, guys, to another episode of the Jayson Estrera podcast, where we talk about basketball as accurate as possible. So I just gave y'all the rundown. Plus health, I am clocking you. That's crazy. Elijah said, Jason, can we get an all-night stream or a marathon stream in 2026? I've been playing around with that idea. I'm trying to, I don't know what I would necessarily do for that long, which is kind of like where the idea stops. But I have thought about that, because I think it would do a lot. I think it would do a lot in terms of getting eyes on the channel, getting eyes on the live stream. But I've actually thought about that. So maybe we'll make it happen. Maybe we'll see. Maybe we'll make it happen. We'll do like a little announcement and shit. We'll see. Maybe we'll have certain goals, and if we can hit some of those goals, we could do something on stream. But we'll see. I'd watch that. I appreciate you, Eli. I'm gonna have to pull out an air mattress and sleep right here. But let's start with we could brainstorm at some point. Yeah, we'll see, bro. But this is probably a perfect place to start. I think, this it's everywhere, right? It's everywhere. Kobe Bryant's 81-point performance, and it's history. I think Kobe has had such a massive impact on the NBA, and I think this is a perfect time to talk about that. So let's take a look at this, and I don't think I'll we won't be able to play all of this. Maybe we'll skip around. Maybe I'll start halfway of this 3-minute video. So let's take a look at this, y'all.
Go up with him. Gets him on the arm. Here's Kobe again. Yes, sir.
The potato Wi-Fi too. It's the shortest clip we can find.
Is good. Knocked away by Kobe. Great hustle by Kobe. He's gonna score.
Think about this. He has 51 with 30 seconds left in the third quarter.
Lakers lead. Oh, great pass. Kobe alone. Slam dunk. We're all geared for you, but he's void of all the.
So the counter starts, right? 30 seconds. 55 with 9:28 left in the fourth quarter. He scores another 30 points.
The 15-footer. Kobe counted foul. Kobe goes straight to the dribble in the lane, laid up and in. His average tonight, you would think.
This guy is unbelievable, bro.
Kobe with it now. Lakers lead 105-96. Another three. 4 away from Elgin Baylor's Laker record. For 3 again.
Jesus.
Yes! Well,
and they needed all these buckets.
Pump fake for two.
Every single one of these.
Oh my goodness.
The Raptors did make history for
Kobe
sure.
Down the middle, throw it in. Second, 27 in the third.
Jesus.
I see it. Here's number 1. Do you believe it? This one would be to Ty Wilt for number 2, and the next one would be to pass. For the night, at least. Bryant for 80. This would be 18 for 20 from the line, and an 81-point game. 55 in the second half. Ladies and gentlemen, you have witnessed the second greatest scoring.
81 points by Kobe Bean Bryant, giving straight buckets. Just straight buckets, man. Like, just all buckets. And there wasn't shit that they could do that night. 46 shots, 7 of 13 from 3, 20 free throws. You know, everybody loves talking about the free throws nowadays. And granted, it's 20 attempts out of the 81 that he scored. I think we're seeing some guys get to the 20s with their 40-point performances, which is half of these points. But Kobe is just so one of a kind. Jalen Rose, what up, Mr. Rose? I think this is probably a cool time. I don't know if you guys remember this, but all of the tweets that he was tweeting when he watched back this game. Let's take a look at this. Youthful metabolism. This is what he had that day before. Fresh pepperoni pizza and a grape soda. Shaq asked the question, Kobe, did you wake up and say I'm gonna hit 81 today? Jalen's guarding me. Yep. How many different defenders tried to guard you that night from the Raptors? All yet none. I wonder what Phil was thinking. Okay, Kobe, what did you do with your shoes after the game? I sent them to the Hall of Fame. Down 14, I'm heating up. At this point, I wouldn't pass a kidney stone. I'm watching the game now. The easy shots I missed, I could have had 100 points, which is a similar thing that Damian Lillard said when he had 70. After the third quarter, Lamar Odom tells me you can't get 60. Then halfway through, he said you can't get 70. Kobe also said, I knew I should have got a fresh cut for this game. I can't believe I've never watched this game till now, which was in 2013. this game, he tweeted this out January 22nd, 2013. This game took place on January 22nd, 2006. So, I mean, he waited a good 7 years before watching the game for the first time. What music were you listening to before that game, if any? I listened to the sounds of silence. This guy is nuts. This guy's nuts. I love it. I love it. The last 2 minutes of the game, Lakers fan reaction gave me goosebumps. I'm thinking you better not miss these free throws. I felt like I was looking at a Salvador Dali painting. This game was the first and only game my grandma has seen me play as a pro on my late grandfather's B-day, no less. Did he miss? I doubt he missed any free throws in that fourth quarter. 12 of 13. 12 of 13. That's pretty good. Let's see the first half. First half he had 26 points, 55.6% shooting from the field, 50% from three, and 5 of 6 from the free throw line. And the second half he just absolutely explodes for 55 points. 18 of 28 from the field, good for 64.3%. 6 of 11 from three, for 54.5%, and 13 of 14 from the free throw line. So he has people's whole games in a half. Each of those halves could have been a full game for other players, and he did them both in the same game. So 81 points. I think it's very apparent the impact that Kobe Bryant's had on the NBA. It really is very Jordan-like, right? The amount of players that wear his sneakers, but more than that, we have the players that are outward with their love for Kobe Bryant in his game, whether it's a Devin Booker or a Jason Tatum. Even Jalen Brown has spoken a lot on Kobe. There's so many players, right? And not only has he inspired so many of these guys, but you can see his game in a lot of their games. Granted, sometimes it's not always for the best. If I'm being honest, I think even Kobe would say he would take some of those shots that these guys shouldn't take. And I think even more so now, there's a lot of shots that people take that he would hate. But I think that's where you really see the impact on the game itself. And it's one of those things where he's given so much game to people over time that I think it's gonna just continue. The love Luka gave him when he came over. I mean, it's just I think he gets the love that he deserves. Kobe Bryant does. So rest in peace to the GOAT. 81 points, unbelievable night, an unbelievable career. Definitely one of the GOATs. That's why we got the Lakers tee on today. Big 8-1. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's a crazy number to hit in the league. So shout out to that 20-year anniversary. I mean, could you believe that? That's crazy. 20-year anniversary is nuts, bro. That's crazy. Now, I think this is probably the perfect place to kind of go next, which is to go from Kobe Bryant to another a current player that we have who absolutely loves Kobe Bryant as well, right? And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, right? I think they've said that his favorite players are Allen Iverson and Kobe, and I think it really shows in his game, right? Ironically enough, It shows in his game. I think his swag, more screams Allen Iverson. But his game, and I think that has more to do with size and I guess lack of speed, like the way Allen Iverson had. But I will say this guy is probably the best combination that we've seen. I think he really does show an influence on both. And he had himself a hell of a game. I think, like I said earlier, it's been very quiet when it comes to why is my dog going fucking crazy? Why is he tripping out? All right, bro. Don't make me go out there. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Hey. All right. All right. I think there's somebody at the door, so that's why he was going nuts. What the fuck does that even mean, Elijah? Does Shea carry himself like a cool cartoon character? Like, what does that even mean? And so let's take a look at this really quick right here, right? I got some of his buckets, and he was getting some fucking buckets in this game, per usual, right? I think something that Shea does very well is this change of pace, right? I think his ability to this is a great example of it right over here. Like, does it look like he should be animated? Some of his fits for sure do. I think some of his fits for sure look like he should be animated. And so, okay. And so let's take a look at this right here really quickly, because I think this is a really great example of that.
And you've got 2 weeks as of tomorrow before the trade deadline. You got 1 of 2 directions to go. You can say we're going to.
Is that a push off? Does that count as a push off? I don't know if that's a push off.
You got 1 of 2 directions to go. You can say we're going to take what assets we have to try to build around.
Unbelievable move right over there.
19 points and 8 assists
right side,
for SGA.
quick
3
crossover.
Put it on the floor.
He just missed that. But like, I just love the change of pace.
19 points and 8.
Right, this isn't one of those where he really hangs the basketball. It's really a quick crossover right here, just really getting downhill.
8 points and 8 assists for SGA. 3 rebounds.
And again, that's something that I give him a lot of credit for. He does a great job of getting downhill against the defense.
In the NBA.
And he didn't get a call right there, which I'm sure a lot of people love.
Missed games in the NBA this season. Yet the best
I think that's something a lot of people love, and I think being a great player that he is, he has to adjust, and he has, right? He is. In this game in particular, he had his 40 points, but he only shot 7 free throws in this game. He was 6 of 7 from the free throw line, 6 of 19 from the field. So, it's one of those things. I think you got to adjust. You got to take better shots. You have to minimize some of those, and you got to give him credit for being able to do that. And I think if you're a player that has that style, it's really about, you have to be able to read that early in the game, right? You have to be able to read very early in the game how they're calling it, to know what you can get away with, to know what you can to know what moves you could use, what shots you could take, because then that really allows you to read the game better and use essentially the scouting report on you against that team, right? So like on this, for example, let's take a look at this. On this, for example, right? Again, why is Bobby Portis on him? But
13 points in the quarter.
He's setting him up. He's setting him up. He's just waiting for this to clear. Right? As soon as Giannis goes, right? That's also when they send the help. And this is just all timing, right? You can see in this whole possession, in this possession right here, he's trying to push Bobby Portis to the side because he has, you know, one guy over here. He's clearing out. So he's just waiting for Giannis to clear. And so he's setting up that left drive and just runs at Bobby Portis. But here, right, I think the way Bobby Portis played it, it almost felt like
drives on Portis.
He was expecting more contact. And instead of Shea really lowering that shoulder the way he could do sometimes, he kind of just brushes him off, right? He just brushes him off and shoots a little floater off the board. So again, adapting, using his the scouting report on him against the defenders, right? There's certain tendencies that players are gonna prepare for you. And if you can use that against them, which is also very difficult because, you know, we have human habits, right? We have human habits. We have things that we like to do, especially in sports, right? Whether it's a move, whether it's anything. And so to be able to read that and to adjust to it, it really is impressive. It really is impressive. And this was belt to ass. 40, 11, and 7 rebounds on 84.2 shooting from the field. It's funny because we were just giving Keontae no, it wasn't Keontae George. Who the fuck just had 40? We was just talking about it. Someone just literally had 40 and shot 50%. Let's see if I can find this really quick. Let's see. Oh, it was IQ. It was Quickly. It was your boy Elijah. It was Emmanuel Quickly. He had 40 on 80% shooting from the field, 84.6. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander says I could do that as well too. In a big blowout victory, 122-102 against the Milwaukee Bucks. Now there were comments that Giannis had made in this game talking about effort. Talking about guys playing for themselves, being selfish. And, you know, a part of that is Giannis had 19 points and 14 rebounds in this game with 7 assists. And all of that is great until you look at the fact that he only took 11 shots. You have Kyle Kuzma, who took 12. AJ Green took 10. Ryan Rollins took 11. Bobby Portis took 14. And so that's a lot of competition. That's a lot of competition for shots on your team, especially considering you're not just the best player on your team, but one of the best players in the league. And you were 8 of 11, right? It's not like one of those where you are having a really bad shooting night. So 19 points. 14 rebounds, only 11 shot attempts, and he had an issue with that. He had an issue with that, and rightfully so. His days there are numbered. I think he's out of there. I wonder if they'll be able to make the trade by the trade deadline, but I think he's out of there. IQ, yeah, it was IQ. Bobby Portis looked like my uncle-in-law. Funnily enough, his name is Bobby too. I'm weak. IQ most efficient 40. What's OAT? But that was a very efficient 40. That was an extremely efficient 40 out of Emmanuel Quickly, and this was one as well, right? This was one for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander also. Now, I think we for sure have more to break down with this game, which was a really close one. The Atlanta Hawks beat the Memphis Grizzlies 124-122. Jalen Johnson had 32, 15, and 8. Ja Morant on the other side had 23, 12, and 23, 12, 2 rebounds, and assist, and 3 blocks. And so this game, right? This game, Jalen Johnson's been playing well all season long. I think he's an all-star. He's been playing well, extremely well all season long. And I think he is most definitely a problem. I think he's for sure a problem in this league. And I think this is big because I was very critical of the trade of Trae Young, right? Trading Trae Young. I was very critical of that. I think you have 2 all-stars on your team, right? Right? You basically have 2 all-stars on your team. And why would you trade one all-star away? And maybe they have a different plan for Jalen Johnson. Maybe they have a type of team that they want to build around him. But, you know, whatever the case might be, I think that this kid is really good. And he's a do-it-all. He's a do-it-all. The one thing that I really love about his game, is it's very obvious that he thinks. Right? His shot selection, it's very obvious. And what I mean by that is this. When he takes shots and when he takes threes, he looks confident and he looks comfortable, right? When he takes his threes, he looks confident and he looks comfortable. And I think it's because he's thinking, right? You could tell in his game, you could tell in his shot selection and his attempts. If you go through the play-by-play by the quarters and whatnot, he's like, all right, I'm going to get to the rim. I'm going to try to get to the basket. Okay, if they're clogging up the lane, I'll try to get to the rim. If they clog it up, I'll take a mid-range. He'll do a couple of those, take threes after that. Okay, he's taking a couple jumpers in a row. All right, I'm going to try to get all the way to the rim. Whether he makes the shot or not is pretty much irrelevant. I want you guys to really pay attention to his shot selections the next time you guys have a chance to watch the Atlanta Hawks, because it really is a breath of fresh air to have one of these younger players really show an ability to think. The assists also show that. But again, I think it really shows in his shot selection, the way he distributes his shots. Not only that, it really feels like he could shoot anywhere. Like it really does feel like he could just shoot anywhere. And again, whether he's making shots or missing them, I think is pretty irrelevant. It's about the fact that he's constantly mixing it up, and I think, you know, that goes a really, really long way. It makes him hard to guard, but also it gives his game flow. Right, it gives his game flow. We're gonna talk about this with the Brooklyn Nets, but we see what happens when you start settling for all jump shots. And he's a player that you could clearly see thinks about these things. I mean, if you look at this play, a lot of players will settle for a jump shot right over here, and this is a great attack by Dyson Daniels. A lot of guys will, you know, he's coming over here expecting him to be here. A lot of guys will just go to this corner and take this shot. But what does he do? Drive, and also the size to be able to take the contact and essentially finish over the top of Jaren Jackson Jr., who's a shot blocker. So again, I think it just really shows this kid's ability to think about the game. He does a really, really great job, honestly, of of just being constantly aggressive. He's got a good jumper. It's not a great jumper. He's got a good jumper, which I think will develop over time. But again, this kid takes his time. He's got great size, and he thinks about the game. I mean, this is just unacceptable.
Alexander Walker at the scores.
What are we doing? What are we doing? I'm assuming their defense is touching it back, so he's just showing, and he's supposed to get back. And he just takes advantage of this. He's just too big, too quick, a ton of skill, and I think they really do got a good future with him leading the way. And will he have the same star power as a Ja Morant? I think that's something that we have to kind of wait and see. But this kid is really, really good, and I think I always lean on the player that has size. I think that that goes a long way. But again, I think you could have had two really good players instead of one, but they chose to go that way. So it is what it is. Now, I'm trying to see if there's anything here that I wanted to talk about when it comes to his passing. I think there's just he just his size. I think he just creates a lot of gravity to the game, right? He does a good job of not settling and being aggressive, and him attacking and being in attack mode is what creates a lot of the passing opportunities for himself. And he also does a really good job of kicking the ball ahead, right? He uses that size, that strength to be the one to kick the ball ahead. He's also grabbing the rebound, kind of like LeBron, kind of like Magic Johnson, kind of like, these bigger wings who have point guard abilities. They're the ones that are able to push the basketball. And so he's, I think, doing a really great job over there in Atlanta. Now, I think we got to talk about Ja Morant a little bit, because I think Ja is still a good player in this league, and maybe he just really needs a new scenery. Right? Maybe it's that simple, because sometimes it really is. But if we look at Ja Morant, came into the league 17.8, then 19.1, 27.4 in year 3, and it's gone down ever since. 26.2, 25.1, 23.2, and 19.5. His field goal, the highest it was 49.3 in year 3, when he averaged 27.4. This year it's at 41%. The highest his 3-point percentage has ever been was 34.4, which was also in year 3. This year it's at 23.5%. We can say this team has fucked him over. We could say all of the off the court stuff with the guns is also that it's a part of this equation, right? You can't deny that all of those things are impacting it. Injuries also, right, is a part of this, right? Injuries are a part of this as well too. But has Ja Morant gotten better? The one deficiency that was very obvious in his game was the 3-point shooting. And the celebrations for the 3-point shooting kind of became the story. But then I was thinking about it because I was looking at these stats and I was like, well, shit. If you were shooting any better from the 3-point line, you could be doing them celebrations all fucking game long. You could be throwing grenades all game long. But you're shooting fucking 23.5%. You throwing one grenade a game, bro. And wherever he ends up next, if they get the same Ja Morant that we've seen the last 3 years, well, that's not the Ja Morant that everybody's envisioning. And so, hopefully, it really is just a change of scenery. But, you know, we were giving Anthony Edwards credit for the growth in his game. We've given players the credit for really growing their game. The MVP of the league, Jokic, it feels like he keeps getting better. His jumper has gotten better every damn year. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander keeps working on his game. And Jaylen Brown, lefty. He's hitting left-handed floaters. At what point is Ja Morant going to work on the deficiencies of his game? Because he does a lot of things really well already. And if he could fix some of those inconsistencies, I think it would make him more dynamic. It would allow him to be in these different offenses. Because think about it, right? He's a player that likes to play one-on-one. He's really good at one-on-one. He's fast and he can get above the rim he likes to play above the rim. So he doesn't like to get off the basketball. But what if the reason for that is he's just not confident in his three? See, someone that's confident in taking their shot would say, oh, shit, okay, cool. We could do this team thing. If you guys can attract the defense, I can sit here and knock down threes, and then when I get and I do my thing, you know, I'll be even more efficient. I'll average about the same amount, but with more efficiency. But when you don't have the three ball to lean on because you haven't really worked on it, well, then, yeah, you'd be really mad when the coach is trying to take the basketball out of your hands. And I wonder if that's really what this comes down to. From what I see, there's improvement, better passes, reads, and stays and works on ground rather than just figuring it out in the air. People need to relax on Ja, to be honest. Man hasn't even done anything illegal. He should have been smarter, but I don't think he should have been crucified for it. Was he on a minutes restriction against the Hawks? No, they've just been cutting his minutes. I want to see him lock in on defense more. Him and Zion have no reason not to be first team all defense. I understand what you're saying, Eli, because I don't think he should be crucified for it either. However, I'm just here to pass along what happens. And the fact of the matter is that's going to carry with him for the rest of his career. So it's really up to him at this point on how he wants to approach it. He could either say, fuck it, or adjust. And it really seems like he doesn't want to adjust. And that's why now I'm at a point where, okay, shit, well, if you want to be Ja Morant, cool. Let's work on your game. Why do we have to? Why are you still sitting here relying on the same shot? You're shooting 23.5% from three. 23.5. Again, it would be a lot for him to all of a sudden become a 40% three-point shooter. But shit, that will go a long way in helping him. It will go a long way in helping him. And I think when it comes to Ja Morant, it's getting to the point where it's point the blame everywhere else. That's how it comes off to me. That is just, we're gonna point the blame everywhere but here. And so, yeah, man, it's starting. Against the Magic, they did have a minutes restriction. Yeah, I'm not blaming you. I just wish the media had chilled on him. This like storyline all over again. What you mean? And people said this about BI. People said what about BI? People said what about Brandon Ingram? Mind you, Brandon Ingram is also not 6'1" or however tall, 6'2", 6'3", however tall John Moran is. You know, there's, in my opinion, a lot that he could do differently. And honestly, I'm about to gas him actually right now. I'm about to gas him because of something that he does really well, which is change of pace. You know, this is something he's always had, and I think he does a really good job of it against a good defender in Dyson Daniels, right? Watch this. He does something that I think most people wouldn't do. He gets him jumping, right? And I love this part, right? He could have exploded off of it. Hesitates. And that little hesitation, I think, forced Dyson Daniels to be like, oh shit, what's he about to do? And that's what allowed the blow by into the step, into the floater.
A flyby by Jayson Daniels.
I mean, that's just beautiful. That is just beautiful. He was a problem child, a headache, couldn't play off the ball, etc. Most of the same things they say about Ja. I mean, one, I don't think it was as loud. Here, let's take a look at this actually really quickly. Now I'm curious. Now I'm curious. Now I'm curious. I'll look at this really quickly. Because I do think there's a difference, right? I do think there's a difference. The one difference is Brandon Ingram has never shot under 30% from the three-point line, except his rookie season. Ever since his rookie season, we're looking at 39, then 33, 39.1, 38.1, 32.7, 39, 35.5, 37.4, and 36% this season. I think the other big difference, we're just talking about their games, is at the end of the day, Brandon Ingram is what, 6'9", with a ISO MIDI package, versus a Ja Morant who still relies on his athleticism. And again, do I think some of the out of game stuff is overblown? Yeah, but again, expecting anything different at this point, that's on you. Ja Morant can control some of the things he can control, which is his game, in my opinion. And I think instead we just keep pointing the finger everywhere else. People like vouch for Zion over BI. I was like, how stupid, whatever. And listen, maybe Ja, maybe, you know, again, maybe it's just as simple as a change of scenery, right? Maybe it really is just that simple. But again, this would look, in my opinion, very different if, you know, if Ja was able to be consistent and hit these jumpers, man. I mean, like, his shot is just flat. At his size, he has a flat jump shot. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like his game could just grow, especially in this day and age. I think, you know, one thing you pointed out, Elijah, was you know, trying to be an all defensive player, be more of a menace on defense, right? You know, the coach is trying to take the basketball out of your hands. All right, let's lock up on defense. He gonna give the ball back to me, but you know, again, I don't think that's where his mindset is at. And again, unlike Brandon Ingram, he don't have a 6'9" frame with a midi that he could kind of fall back on. So hopefully he gets into a different scenery. But I think there are things that he could do that would make him a much better basketball player. Now, we got to get into this beatdown. This beatdown that the New York Knicks gave the Brooklyn Nets. 120-66 is the final. I mean, crazy. 66 points is crazy. And I call them the biggest loser, right? Talking about the Brooklyn Nets. Because these guys just keep taking terrible shots. Like, these guys literally take the worst shots. And I would love to give our defense the credit. I would truly, truly love to give our defense the credit for this game. These guys just suck. And we're going to take a look at this in just 1 second. But to give you guys an idea of how they shot on this night, they took 79 shots this game, 79 field goal attempts. They shot 29.1% as a team. They were 23 of 79. They took 43s this game, so more than half of their shots were from the three-point line. They were 11 of 40. They shot 27.5% from the three-point line. And then they did a little bit better from the free throw line. They were 9 of 13 for 69.2%, and they got 66 points. My Knicks shot 57.5% from the field, 50% from three, 70.6% from the free throw line. But the crazy part is 56 rebounds that my New York Knicks had to 27 for the Brooklyn Nets. 56 rebounds to 27. And then they also had 14 turnovers in this game. I mean, just an absolutely awful game. And again, bad shots. We are going to look at some awful shots in this game. Let's start with this. This isn't as bad of a shot right here.
Missed three. They're 8 out of 16 from downtown.
But I'm going to show you in a second how lost they look. And you did a great job of getting a very good defender in OG Anunoby off of his feet. Instead of taking up this space right here, we just pass it. And what should have been a wide open shot is now a contested shot by Michael Porter Jr. And he hits it, but shit. Like, he hit it, but like, damn, like the shot didn't have to be that hard, bro. The shot didn't have to be that hard. This right here is a team that looks absolutely lost.
See, the back door should be open. The paint is open.
He gets the handoff. These guys have no idea what's going on. He's calling something as he's passing the basketball.
Exploit the back door.
He don't know where he's going. You can tell he don't know where he's going. He's like, fuck, I guess I'm going to set a pick. Oh, shit, you're passing me the ball. He's like, oh, shit, you're passing me the basketball. He's like, I got you. I'll set the pick. I'll set the pick. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck, what's going on? Wait, hold on. I think I'm supposed to run this way. Oh, shit, I forgot to set the pick. Oh, I was supposed to pass it to you, and I shot the basketball instead. What the fuck was this possession? What the fuck was this possession? What's good, RC? What's good, RC? Let's run this back. Let's run back
The back
this
door should be open.
awful
The paint is
possession.
open for the Knicks. Nets not looking to exploit the back door.
The worst paint scoring team in the NBA, the Nets. And granted, they.
Oh shit! Like, dog, that was bad. That was very bad. I think this is another just example of settling for bad shots. I'm not too mad at this shot. I think this is a pretty good shot. 14 seconds left in the shot clock. I get that nowadays we want to, nowadays they want to get these threes off of offensive rebounds, but this is an awful shot.
Fires.
Nets getting some second opportunity.
First and foremost, let's break this down. The Brooklyn wreck sounds more fitting, don't it? No, it absolutely does. The first thing right here that's awful, right? And we see this. This is not just on 21 right here. You're so close to the rim. See, growing up for me, I was taught it's so hard to get to the basket, right? Your goal damn near as a player is to try to get to the basket, because it opens up so much for your offense. And so when you get close, you don't give that up. And he could have stayed here, right? He could have stayed here, just wait for something to develop. He didn't even have to dribble necessarily, right? You're just in here fucking doing whatever the fuck. And instead,
Fires.
he gives up this great position that he has, right? Because Michael Porter Jr. can set a screen that comes over here. He can go over the top. This guy could clear to the corner. He can kind of stay in the dunker. So now you even have this opening right over here to try to maybe get a shot off. Michael Porter Jr. could clear out over here. He could cut middle, or he could cut middle. There's so many options for this to develop with 14 seconds left on the clock. But again, they're taught completely different things in today's basketball. And so what does he do? He just concedes that space, kicks it all the way out by the fucking FanDuel logo over here on the out of bounds. And again, with 11 seconds left, instead of attacking the weak link on defense for the Knicks, because let's be honest, that's who it is right now. Instead of attacking him as the bigger player, you settle for the long three-point shot, which he's able to get a great contest on. Even if you're bigger, that's a great contest. Everyone that shoots knows you could practice that, but it is uncomfortable. No matter how far even if he's a little bit further, that will always feel like they're going to touch your arm. And it takes a lot of practice to get that out. So instead, you settle for this bullshit. And
Powell off the catch.
An absolute brick. An absolute brick. Yeah, not if you're shooting 11 for 40. Did they not know it's a crosstown rivalry? I don't think they know what day it is. I don't think these guys know what day it is. And again, from Mr. Terrible Shot himself, it's no surprise to me after some of his comments over the summer that he's had a shit year, because look at this right here, y'all. Look at this right here. Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back. Deuce McBride is the low man. This is who the rim protector is right now. Deuce McBride. Let's do this. Let's fucking do this, right? Let's look at Cam Thomas's height, and let's look at Deuce's height. Cam Thomas is 6'3". Deuce is 6'2". So, you're taller, Mr. Cam Thomas, right? You're taller. You're taller than Deuce McBride, and your center is there also because you have the center on you. And so, okay, he could slide over to make some room, right? You could tell him to move over a little bit. You can get to your left hand and attack Mitchell Robinson. But let's see what he does instead.
They are still the third best three-point shooting team in the NBA.
Wait, so you have a mismatch on you. And you're going to do a between the leg, double step back to the left, fading away from the three-point line against Mitchell Robinson, who's, because of the decision and the shot that he took, is able to get a good contest off.
Team in the NBA at 38%.
Again, I would love to give my New York Knicks credit for a team scoring 66 points. They're just fucking stupid over there in Brooklyn, apparently. They're just stupid. Like, they're just stupid, taking bad shots. When you are a small guy driving amongst the trees, it definitely speaks to having a lot of heart and drive. Any old fool could settle for a jumper. No, that's facts. That's facts. And you know what's funny, RC? If you look back at this game, and I'm not saying it was, a 100% efficiency, right? But the times that the Brooklyn Nets got downhill and were attacking the rim, the shot quality that they were getting was so much better. It's not even funny. Like, it was so much better. And it literally just coming from the fact that they're getting downhill, right? If you it's funny to me, right? I wonder what they watch, and I wonder what they break down, like the coaches, the staff that some of these teams have, because if you want to get better twos, you drive to the rim. If you want to get better quality threes, you create that by driving to the rim, attacking the defense, right? Sucking the defense in, kicking it out to your teammate who's wide open, right? To the point where even the 30% shooter can make a wide open shot. But again, well, Clyde Frazier said in one of those highlights, this is the lowest paint scoring team in the entire league, right? And they're, no surprise, spearheaded by Michael Porter Jr. Michael, I'm not going to pass the ball, I'm going to shoot it, Porter Jr. And also Cam, I'm not going to pass the ball because I'm going to shoot it, Thomas. Like, you have two players that are going to settle for fade away bad shots, and they're not going to put pressure on the defense. This is what you get, right? This is what you get. So 29.1 shooting from the field for 66 points. 66 points. We had 120, which is a good night, but you would think if you're beating a team by 54 that you're scoring like 140, but 66 I guess is gonna have to do. So with that being said, shout out to my Knicks, but I do think that it's a good win, especially after the 4-game losing streak that we had. Good morale boost. If you are Mike Brown, you don't say what I'm about to say, which is this was not you guys. The reason they only scored 66 is not because of you guys on the Knicks, right? Like, this is because of their own doing. These guys are ass, right? These guys are ass. They take terrible shots and they don't make them. So yeah, don't think that our defense is all of a sudden great, because it's not. I'm just call it what it is. And you got a team that don't know how to take these advantages and run with them. So a good win for the New York Knicks to snap that 4-game losing streak, but we can't look at this and say, oh my God, what a unbelievable defensive game that we played, because I don't think that's the case. I think this is just a bad team settling for 3-point shots, making poor decisions, and not making any of them, right? Versus, on a different night, they make a couple of those bad, tough threes. All of a sudden, someone gets hot. The game looks a little bit different. Not to say that they, break into the 54, but it looks more like the Milwaukee game, right? Like the 120-95 or whatever that score was. But yeah, man, that's going to do it for me for now. I just want to thank you guys again. As always, you guys are the absolute GOATs. Elijah, thank you so much for popping in here. As always, Derpy, I appreciate you so much. As always, man, Eli, again, I appreciate you so much for coming in here always. RC, I appreciate seeing you in here, man. But let me see, is anyone else popped in here? But yeah, thank you guys. That's gonna do it for me for now. Before I get out of here, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you have not done so already. Again, I will not be live tomorrow, so we'll be back here next week. Wait, what? Can we jump to a bad team of Kings? I mean, what you mean? What's good with them? Wait, what you mean? What's good with them? They've been cooked. They've been cooked, Elijah. What's there? Listen, none of those guys wanted to be together. Think about it like this, Elijah. Zach wanted out, or no, DeMar wanted out, right? DeMar wanted out of Chicago. Now, whether that reason was Zach LaVine or not, if you're Zach LaVine, you're gonna kind of feel away, right? Whether you take it personal or not, you're like, this guy want to go play somewhere else, whatever, right? Probably got over it, whatever. And so if you're DeMar, you get away from them, you end up in Sacramento. Only end up with Zach LaVine also, right? And if you're DeMar, you're over here, you thought you're gonna be with De'Aaron Fox, Sabonis. De'Aaron Fox gone. So now Sabonis looking around like, shit, I got a bunch of selfish isolation motherfuckers on my team. Like, I want to get the fuck up out of here. You got the guy that's leading them in fucking everything, who no one wanted to sign, in Russell Westbrook. So he probably looking around like, I'm better than every motherfucker in here. That team is fried. That's why I've been saying, I think they're going to end up giving a valuable piece to a championship team because there is so much talent. But one, they don't fit together well on this roster, right? It's just not a good collection pairing of talent. But two, I think they also don't want to be there together. They don't want to be there. You got a bunch of guys that don't want to be there. Zach was getting called out for his defense by the fans in Sacramento. The whole situation is just awful. So the whole situation is awful. Like, is DeMar and Zach even usable? Like, they look so buns. I don't want to believe it. And like you said, it didn't work, but he loved it so much. They tried it again. Listen, bro, DeMar has such a great mid-range game, and he's a 20. He's 20 in the box score pretty much every night, it feels like. But if I had to pick one out of the two, I'm gonna pick the one that can shoot a three. That's just that's just as simple as I could put it. And so if I had to pick one out of the two, especially in today's NBA, if you told me I was gonna trade for DeMar DeRozan and my team is in 2001, God bless, right? If you telling me I get to pick Zach LaVine or DeMar DeRozan and I'm the 2001 motherfucking, I don't know, whatever the fuck, I'm the Nets, I'm fucking the Magic, whoever the fuck in 2001. Yeah, you get DeMar DeRozan. But we're in 2025, 2026 now, actually. You need to be able to shoot a fucking 3-point shot. So if you can't do that, it's just gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough. So if I had to guess, Sabonis is gonna be gone at some point. Honestly, I think if they can figure out a way to move Zach LaVine's contract, I think he's gonna be gone as well too. So this is gonna end up being the DeMar Russell Westbrook show, which I don't know if I like that either. And yeah, Russ is your leading guy. Like, what is going on? Most awful team in the NBA: Warriors or Nets? The Nets. The Nets. The Nets. The Nets. I mean, the Warriors were winning before the Jimmy Butler injury. And that's with all the turmoil on the team. The funny thing about the Nets is there's no turmoil. They just suck. There's no drama. There's no like, oh shit, this person trying to ask out. Like, there's nah. They happy going to the game. They happy going to the game. Shit, great at home. They just going in getting their head cracked. At least the Warriors dealing with some shit. Like, we got the whole Kuminga situation going on. 16 DMPs before they had to play him. Draymond Green keep getting ejected every other day. He fighting with somebody. I mean, there's a lot going on in Golden State. There's a lot going on with Golden State. Steph wearing different sneakers every game. There's a lot. Mike Dunleavy being petty. There's a lot going on over there. Compared to the Brooklyn Nets, ain't shit going on. They're living the dream in New York. They just going to games, getting their head cracked in. We've all played a team like that. We've all played a team like that before, man. It don't matter if they win by 50 or lose by 50. They leave in the game the same way. Happy as a motherfucker. You wouldn't be able to tell. You wouldn't be able to tell. If you took a snapshot of every shot that Michael Porter Jr. takes, you couldn't guess what possession it is. You couldn't guess. You couldn't guess. Every shot looks like it's in the first 5 minutes of the game. Like, just putting a whatever the fuck. But yeah, no, that team is ass. Is just awful. Absolutely awful, man. Oh, by the way, also Cam Thomas going from 24 a game to 16.6. Ouch. Right, that 30 mil he wanted, never mind. You can be like, hey, I'm good, but you averaged 16.6 last season. Yeah. You gonna get offered $15 million, dog. You gonna get, they gonna offer you $1 million for each point you averaged. But that's gonna do it for me for now, man. I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you guys for the love, man. I'll see you guys back here next week. Y'all could have been anywhere on the internet, but y'all were here with me, and I appreciate y'all for that. So thank you so much. I'll see y'all later, man. Y'all have a great rest of y'all day. Y'all have a great week.